Ray Fisher is addressing what he calls Joss Whedon's lies and buffoonery after the director denied allegations of misconduct on the sets of Justice League, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Firefly, and Angel. Fisher, who previously accused Whedon of gross, abusive, unprofessional and completely unacceptable behavior on the Justice League set, commented on Whedon's New York Magazine profile piece, in which Whedon spoke out about the many allegations of misconduct against him, published on Monday. The actor, who starred as Cyborg in the 2017 DC film, tweeted on Monday, "Looks like Joss Whedon got to direct an endgame after all." Before writing, "Rather than address all of the lies and buffoonery today, I will be celebrating the legacy of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Tomorrow the work continues. #Mukdaya greater than E." But on Tuesday, Fisher decided to break his self-imposed silence on Whedon's interview, tweeting, "Before I get started today, I want to thank you all for lifting and supporting everyone that has been negatively affected by Joss Whedon. I was not the first to speak out about him, but I hope to be one of the last that has to," he tweeted. A greater than E. In a second tweet, Fisher wrote, "Joss Whedon had nearly 2 years to get his story straight. Has likely spent tens, if not hundreds, of thousands of dollars on PR, crisis management, and coaching. And his response to the allegations is, they all misunderstood and or are out to get me. Also my mom is sexy?" Fisher tweeted. In another tweet, the actor criticized Walter Hamada, the president of DC Films, tweeting, "The irony is, Walter Hamada is probably kicking himself right now for trying to throw Joss Whedon under the bus. Had Walter waited, he would have seen Joss had already bought a round-trip ticket to run himself over." A different tweet by Fisher read, "Joss Whedon, I don't threaten people. Who does that? The world, I don't know, maybe the guy that used to spend his free time plotting elaborate revenges on his own family?" Representatives for Whedon as well as DC Films did not immediately respond to people's requests for comment. Fisher also showed support for Buffy and Angel star Charisma Carpenter, who also accused Whedon of misconduct in the past. #I stand with Charisma Carpenter who, like this bad actor in both senses, has no agency in determining matters of abuse or race, but for the influence of a white male shadow puppeteer," Fisher tweeted, adding, "At NYMag and at Lila Pearl should be ashamed for regurgitating this nonsense. A greater than E." Whedon's recent comments come about a year after Carpenter accused him of abusive behavior on Buffy as well as its spin-off, Angel. In Carpenter's previous statements, she alleged Whedon called her fat after learning she was pregnant. Whedon admitted he was not mannerly in his interactions with her at the time. However, he denied calling her fat. "Most of my experiences with Charisma were delightful and charming. She struggled sometimes with her lines, but nobody could hit a punchline harder than her," he said. In his interview, Whedon also addressed claims from Fisher, who alleged in an October 2020 interview with Forbes that race was just one of the issues with the reshoot process that he had with Whedon. He said at the time, there were massive blow-ups, threats, coercion, taunting, unsafe work conditions, belittling and gaslighting like you wouldn't believe. Fisher went on to say last year in a feature for The Hollywood Reporter that his own creative input was continually not taken seriously by producer and DC Films co-chairman Jeff Johns and other leadership, including Whedon. Whedon denied Fisher's claims to New York Magazine, saying he trimmed Cyborg's role in the film because his plot logically made no sense and he wasn't a fan of Fisher's acting in it. He also denied digital lightening specifically of Fisher's skin tone, telling New York Magazine that he brightened everything in post-production. According to the publication, Whedon said that none of Fisher's claims were either true or merited discussing. He described Fisher's actions as a malevolent force, adding, "We're talking about a bad actor in both senses." Whedon took over directing duties on Justice League after original filmmaker Zack Snyder stepped away from the movie after his 20-year-old daughter's death by suicide.